Let's stop trying to rush God's plan, because obviously it's not going to work out. Hey Queen, welcome to Bible and Tea. Got my cup of tea. Let's hit the Bible, where we talk about unspoken stories and the real reality of what be going on back in the day. Today we're talking about Hagar. Now, if you don't know who Hagar is, let me give you a backstory, okay? So, girl was serving for Abraham. First of all, one of the richest men in the world, okay? Had the bag, okay? Abraham and Sarah, cute couple, power couple, cute, but they couldn't have babies, right? Could not have children, and God promised them that they would have kids. However, Sarah comes up with this beautiful idea. Hey, babe, why don't we go to Hagar and have her have our baby, and we can just have our family through her, right? Now, first things first, y'all, and we're all guilty of it. Let's stop trying to rush God's plan, because obviously it's not going to work out. We be creating extra stuff that isn't even necessary. So let's acknowledge that first. You know, obviously, who is Abraham to object, right? Oh, darn, my wife just asked me to sleep with another lady. Dang. Be honest, bro. Like, no. He's not going to say no. And they go through with it, right? She has the baby. Everybody's happy, cool, excited, until, fast forward, Sarah actually has the baby that God promised her in the first place, because he never lied. Then the boys are growing up together. They're like, you know what? It's cool. Let's all have a big, happy family. But then Hagar's son starts teasing Sarah's son. You know how moms are with their kids. Don't do that. Da, 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 da. And Sarah was already actually kind of jealous about this in the first place. She was like, actually started resenting Hagar. For what though? Because she was actually doing what you asked her to do. But that's a different part of the story, right? Totally different part of the story. Now, she uses this instance of her son teasing Sarah's son to be like, you know what? Get out. Exit. Get out of my territory. You're out on your own. And she was like, all you can have is some bread, some water, and your boy. Get out. Okay? So if I was Hagar, I'd be pressed. I'd be irritated. Because why would you just send me out? Because you're upset at the decision that you made. But here's a part of the story that I heard one time. And I don't know if y'all watch him. He's my YouTube grandpa, Myron Golden. But he told this story in such a way that blew my mind. And this part of the story is crazy. So obviously, she's in the wilderness. She's with her son. All she got is a loaf of bread and some water. And boys eat. So obviously, they run out of that pretty quick. She gets to a point where they're out of water, they're out of bread, and she's breaking down in tears. Like, God, why? Why me? What's going on? And then an angel of the Lord appears, right? He talking about, Hagar, why are you crying? Why am I crying? What do you mean, why am I crying? You see my situation, sir. I know you see my situation. What is going on? You know why I'm crying. And long story short, he's basically like, wipe your tears and go to the well and get some water, right? Because she's crying because she ain't got no water. She's in the middle of nowhere and stuff like that. Now, something that Grandpa Golden had told us, that he pointed out, was the angel never actually made the well appear out of nowhere. He didn't just, boom, make it happen. The angel just pointed it out. The well was always there. And so the first thing that I want to make sure we note is you have everything you need to succeed. What you focus on is just super important. If you're focused on all that's wrong with you, all that's messed up, all the things you haven't been able to do, but you're not focused on the ways that you can improve it, you're not focused on the ways that you can succeed, you're not focused on what you already have, you're not going to get to where you need to be. And you're going to sit here crying like Hagar was for the longest. Which, now I think about it, is probably why the angel was asking, why are you crying? Because the well's right there. But she didn't notice that because she was too focused on crying that she couldn't see the well that was right in front of her. All in all, She has an amazing son who ends up being the father of many, many Arab nations. And it's honestly a happy ever after. Everybody remembers her as someone who experienced hardship, divine care, and he sought it through. Now, in addition to what I've already mentioned, here are some things I want us to take out of this story. Apart from the obvious, girl, don't be sleeping with nobody else's man. But number one, Hagar's banishment to the wilderness wasn't the punishment that Sarah thought it was. It was actually protection. Sometimes the situation that we're in where people are actually like pushing us out, cutting us off, whether we're cutting them off, maybe you got fired, whatever the situation is, it may feel like you got punished for doing something, maybe even being punished for doing what you're told, when really it's God protecting you for the purpose he actually has for you. And again, let's remember, even in the wilderness, she had everything she needed. And yet, most of the time, we're sitting here trying to create more resources, buy more stuff, accelerate the process, when really, God literally has the well right there for you. He said, rest up, chill, take it easy. But you don't want to do that. You want to do your own thing. Which segues to my next point. God met her where she was. He didn't wait for her to get out of the wilderness. He didn't even meet her at Sarah's. He met her in the midst of the wilderness, in the craziness, in the tears, in the hunger, in the single momhood. That's where he met her. So while you're trying to get everything right before you get started in the gym, before you get everything right to come to the Lord, making sure that your stuff is done before you go to Jesus and be like, Lord, please. Remember, God does not care about all the cute stuff that you can do, because apart from it, he can do more with what less you have than what more you have. You think you padding everything up is going to help him do his job better when he was doing his job in the first place? You were the one who messed it up. He's going to come in and be the God that he's always said he was. Last but not least, sometimes you don't need a new miracle. You don't need something new to happen. You don't need a new job. You don't need a whole new workout program. You don't need to go vegan, go keto, or do whatever. Sometimes you just need to keep doing what you've been doing, and if not, do it better. You don't need nothing new. You just need to be renewed in what you're already doing. Hey Queen, quick question for you. If you're watching this video, you probably want to grow in your faith as well as your fitness and really just glow up in life, but with Christ. If that's you, I want to invite you to my Aligned membership. It's my monthly coaching experience designed to help Christian women finally build consistency, lose fat, and grow their faith. Inside, you'll get monthly workouts, simple meal guidance, live weekly coaching calls, and access to our private community where you're surrounded by women walking the same journey of alignment. This is not just another fitness program. It's a space for you to grow in discipline, confidence, and grow with God. So if that sounds like something you've been missing, click the link in the description below or scan the QR code and join us in the Aligned membership. And let's get back to the video. I remember a season, even in my life, where I was asking God for more in my business, more in my faith, more in my friends. And especially with ADHD, I'm looking for novelty. I need something to get me excited. But nothing was exciting because everything was the same. And nothing was growing because I was still functioning in scarcity, thinking that what I already had wasn't enough. When in reality, I had everything that I needed. I have everyone that I need. And my business is doing everything that it needs to be doing, serving the women that it's supposed to serve. And I'm growing more because of the consistency of all these areas than I would have if all these areas grew to what I thought they were supposed to. And I'm still here thinking I need to be playing catch up. So if you're in a season where you feel like you're rushing and trying to make things happen because you feel unseen by God, or because you feel like he's not moving fast enough, or because of whatever reason, remember the story of Hagar. Even in the midst of the chaos, God met her in the wilderness. She had everything she needed, even when she thought she didn't. And at the end of the day, she ended up living a really good life. And you can too.